Hello, welcome back. This is chapter second, The Address, written by Marga Minko. And today I'm going to explain page number 10 to you. So here we go. Do you still know me? I asked. The woman looked at me searchingly. She had opened the door a chink. I came closer and stood on the step. So, the author asked the lady if she knew her, if she remember her still. The woman looked at me searchingly, and then the woman, as she asked the question so directly, she was quite straightforward in asking if she knew her. So the woman looked at her searchingly, inquisitively, with a lot of question in her mind as who this lady might be who was asking a question in such a way. She had opened the door a chink, and the lady had opened the door a chink means a little only. It was not that. It's not the case that the door was thrown fully open to the visitor, and that the visitor was welcome to her residence, to her house. I came closer and stood on the step, and the author now moved a little up and stood on the step. She took a step forward and stood on the step. No, I don't know you. I'm Mrs. S. daughter. When the lady replied that no, I have no idea as who you are or as who you may be, then the author was forced, bound to give her introduction, and she said, I am Mrs. S. daughter. That is, I am the daughter of Mrs. S. Here, the full name hasn't been given, hasn't been mentioned by the author. She held her hand on the door as though she wanted to prevent it opening any further. She held the door in such a way, she held the door very firmly, and it indicated that she wanted to prevent it opening any further. She didn't want to open it any further to the guest, to the visitor. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition, and there was no sign of recognition on her face. That is, her face did not present any sign, any indication that she recognized the author. She could identify the author. She kept staring at me in silence, and the lady kept on gazing, kept on looking at the author in silence. She was silent and was looking at the author, was trying to search her memories so that she could know as who that lady was. Perhaps I was mistaken, I thought, and then came a thought to the author's mind that she had mistaken. Perhaps, probably, she had made a mistake in coming to the right address. Perhaps it isn't her, and she thought perhaps this is not the same lady. I had seen her only once fleetingly, and that was years ago. And she had just once she had seen that lady, and that too fleetingly, not say, not nicely, fleetingly, just she got a glance of the lady and her face. That is, uh, she looked at her for a while only. When she met her the first and the only time, only occasion, and that too was years ago. And even that meeting was had taken place years ago, a lot of years ago. That is long back. It was most probable that I had rang the wrong bell. She thought she knocked at the wrong door, and she rang the wrong bell. She sounded the wrong bell. She was wearing my mother's green knitted cardigan. The wooden buttons were rather pale from washing. Now her eyes fell, her eyes met the green knitted cardigan that was used by her mother and that had been worn by the lady. That was worn by the lady opposite the author. That was green in color. The cardigan was green in color, and the buttons of this cardigan were wooden, and due to frequent washes, the button turned pale. She saw that I was looking at the cardigan and half hid herself again behind the door. And when the lady noticed that the author had noticed her cardigan, she instantly hid herself behind the door. Half, not fully. She hid her body partially, or half of the body was hidden behind the door now. But I knew now that I was right, and this is when the author realized that she was not wrong. She had come to the right address. She was now confirmed, she was now sure that it was the right address. Well, you knew my mother? I asked. Have you come back? Said the woman. Now, as the author was sure and certain that it was the right address, and she was talking to the same lady, then she asked her, you knew my mother? She asked straightforwardly that you knew my mother, you met my mother, you had good idea, or you have good idea of my mother. Have you come back? And she replied with the question, have you come back? If you returned, she wanted to know. I thought that no one had come back, only me. Okay, and then she said that I thought no one had come back. She said that I thought nobody had returned from there. Now she says only me. Author replies, only me. That is, only I have returned. So this is all. Thank you.